What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Maverick Man 101. Got a video here today from The Wall. Let's get to it.
So if you meet someone in their late 40s, never been married, and no kids, run. I cannot imagine dating someone in their late 40s that's never been married and no kids. Like, what the fuck is wrong with them? No one wanted to wife them up, or no one wanted to marry that guy, or was he a little playboy? He didn't want to ever commit to anyone. He likely has never had to sacrifice or put anyone's needs in front of his. Who knows? Maybe it was the whole, his career came first. He had to move so many times. There's always,
Well, ma'am, maybe, just maybe, he's living life the way he's supposed to be living, right? Making sure that he can take care of himself, take care of any family that he might want to have in the future, working on himself, his fitness, his health, whatever he may be doing, and that he can actually still start a entire family. Hell, he could start 3 families if he wanted to in his 40s or 50s. Who was it? Robert De Niro or Al Pacino? One of those brothers just had a baby at like 50 or 90, excuse me. They were like in their 90s, 80s, and just had a kid. So for men, he can still do that. There's really no rush for a man to have a family. Those of you who may have watched Kevin Samuels' content, rest in peace to the Godfather, he would say sometimes that women have to figure out the major parts of their life sooner. I agree with that. I agree. They need to know where they're going, if they want to get married, if they want to have kids, because their window closes a lot sooner than a man's. And I think that some of these women, especially once they get to their 40s, their 50s, and they realize that they're essentially the leftovers. They're not what the men that they want are going after. The men that they want are going after younger women. Why? Those men probably want families, they want kids, and if he's going to roll the dice on marriage, which is what marriage is, it's a big roll of the dice for men and for women, but mainly for men. Then he much rather do that with a woman younger instead of a boss queen in her 40s who literally pissed away her 20s and her 30s partying, chasing after Chad, doing whatever she wanted to do. So for women, that window closes much sooner. So they got to figure it out. Men, no pressure. No pressure on men. But let's see what she has to say. Let's keep going.
so many fun excuses. But never would I ever, if I was a guy, I would think this as well. Want to be in a relationship with someone that's in their late 40s, or heaven forbid, older, that's never been married and no kids. I'll leave those to everyone else.
A man in his 40s can still easily start a family with a woman who is 10 to 15 years younger than him because men typically seek partners who are their age or younger. For women, it's more challenging. By the time they reach their 40s, the ability to have children might no longer be an option, which puts them at a disadvantage if they meet a man around their age or slightly older who wants to start a family. On top of that, there are the risks that come with this stage of life and the lifestyle changes a woman might consider, like moving in together, becoming a homemaker, or taking care of someone after spending her entire adult life alone. Such changes can be overwhelming for many women, which is why they struggle when it comes to forming a relationship.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with the wall. It's a big change, and a lot of women they can't make that if they've been alone most of their adult life, or if they were in a relationship and it was long distance, you essentially alone, right? It's going to be hard for them to adapt to having a man around, especially if that man is looking to get married and have children, which a lot of men still are. But I just think that her logic, right? Think about what she's saying. And again, shaming tactics. What's wrong with him? There's nothing wrong with him, ma'am. Nothing. Women like to put the cart before the horse. And what you see a lot of times, these women will they'll buy homes without being married and then go brag about it on, you know, social media. They'll go get their careers, they'll go hang out, party, drink, do all this other stuff, and then they'll try to find a man. And then they'll say things like, why aren't men buying houses? We're leading in buying houses, and you know, we got our homes now. I'm a homeowner. Who cares? So what that mean? Then y'all crash out because you gotta do everything for that home. Cut the grass, um, you know, take care of the lawn, replace the HVAC if it blows out, all that stuff. All those costs. Women live life backwards. So a man in his 40s, late 30s, 40s, maybe even 50s, he's probably, yeah, he's been working on himself, working on his career. So if and when he does decide to have a family, he's ready to go. Ma'am, not living life backwards like women, trying to basically have like a family or have these things that typically come with having a family, like the dogs and the pets, the home. Then they go get a man instead of getting the man first, then go get the pets, then go get the home. They put the cart before the horse.
So a guy that I have been dating just broke up with me, and he's sad about it
Oh no.
and talking about things is
Oh,
healing for me.
oh
If you
no.
haven't watched my other videos,
Crying on TikTok.
he was a guy that I knew from high school, and I didn't meet on a dating app or anything. He reached out to me and asked me on a date, and it was just supposed to be to catch up and have a good time, no expectations. And that's exactly what happened. We had a great time. He ended up asking me on a second date, and we were having conversations about what our non-negotiables were. And one of his non-negotiables was that he didn't want to have to compete with other men for my time. So I deleted Tinder and deleted my Snapchat. And he treated me so well. It was so thoughtful, and
Be thankful that he was honest and told you he is not your person. He released you so that you can find your person. I had the same thing happen to me a few months ago, 2 weeks prior to ending things. He said he loved me, and then 2 weeks later, said his heart wasn't in it anymore. I am like you. I don't have any chill when I like someone. I'm not obsessive and clingy. I just don't know how to keep someone at an arm's length and, like you said, guard my heart.
What?
I'm sorry this happened. Next time, if you know you have a pattern of being all in too fast, You really need to keep seeing others until you see real commitment from his end.
Said things to me
Okay.
that made me think that he wanted the same things. I always get advice.
Real quick, I don't even see tears. I mean, I'm looking directly at the video. I don't see no tears. Let's keep going.
About how I need to go slowly and be nonchalant, and I don't know how to do that. I don't know how to guard my heart
What
and
she wipe away?
not be
Nothing.
all in. When I like somebody and I see a future with them, I
Mm-hmm.
am moving to Texas in January, and he knew that
Mm.
from the very beginning and had said that he was absolutely willing to relocate. So today he told me that he couldn't move away from his children, and all of his kids are grown. They're in their 20s and 30s.
This is the issue with dating after 40. The sacrifices. This woman needs to move to Texas.
Yeah, I mean, uh, this sounds like a hot mess. Number one, I think she said it at the beginning. This wasn't a guy that she met on social media. This was a guy that she knew from, I guess, high school, and she reached back out to him. That's what these women do, especially women in late 30s, 40s. They start backtracking. They start backtracking. All the Chads, all the Tyrones, all the Enriques done blew through her. And now she's looking to see who she can latch on to. That's it. That's it. Did she really like this guy? Maybe. Did he really like her? Maybe. But asking this man to move to Texas and leave his I think they talked about him having, his, I guess, family, his kids. No. For what? For this? No. No. So what happened was he probably hit it. Maybe he's a Chad. She thought she could throw her Hail Mary, which is what women in their 40s and 50s do. They throw that Hail Mary, Aaron Rodgers type play, and she thought he caught the touchdown, and he didn't. Dating in your 40s for women, you're not supposed to be doing that. You should have been pushed your chips to the middle of the table, but you didn't. Now you on TikTok, wiping away fake tears.
And this man would have to leave his entire life behind to go with her,
Right.
including being away from his grown children. Even though they're adults, being far from your family to be with someone you're still getting to know is a big step.
Right.
Sure, it could turn
Right.
out wonderfully, but it could also go very wrong. On top of leaving your life behind, it's a difficult choice. Let's say he leaves his property, vehicle, stable job, and entire support system behind. She has a job to go to, but he doesn't, which means he'd be dependent on her until he finds employment. She's 44, and he's likely around the same age. At that age, starting over and finding a job isn't easy. This man isn't in his 20s, ready to take risks and go on adventures. He's close to retirement. These sacrifices are significant, and many people share the same opinion. Take a look here. Maybe he thought he could move away, and then after thinking about it realized he couldn't. Also, grown or not, I'm not moving away.
Mm. Mm.
Personally, I'd never leave my grown kids for anyone. I hope you find your person in Texas. Good luck.
I mean, first of all, your kids are grown. They can fend for themselves. But I get it. I get it. I mean, I don't have kids, but at the same time, look, your kids are grown. They got to go live their lives. He has to go live his life. she didn't talk about the relationship between that man and the kid's mother, if she's in the picture or whatever, but maybe he's their only source of, family. I don't know. But again, if he wanted to, if he liked her, loved her, yeah, he could leave. But I think this man knows that's a risk that he's just not willing to take by following her to Texas, right? First of all, no man should be following a woman anywhere. I don't care if you asked her where the bathroom is. No. So I think this guy was like, nah, I'm good. I think even if he didn't have kids, he still wouldn't have left. He wouldn't have left. Good for him.
I wouldn't leave my kids either. I'm sorry that happened to you. I would tell someone up front that I'm staying where my kids are. They are young adults and still need my guidance.
Mm.
Kids, grown or not, it's not easy to leave them. I'm
Mhm.
sorry you're dealing with this.
But honestly, I think that he just didn't have the same feelings for me that I did for him. And he was trying to
Maybe.
spare me the heartache of telling me the truth. I'm just exhausted and I'm tired of
Oh boy.
getting my heart broken
No, you're not.
and then having
No,
to
you're not.
the pieces.
Mm. Pick up the
I just feel
pieces.
stupid for putting myself out there. And like I
What
just need
what
to have a good
tears?
cry today. And then tomorrow I will pick myself up and start over.
Oh, hell no.
I don't think this man isn't interested. In my opinion, he was. But you're not asking for a small thing. You're asking him to sacrifice his entire life for you. And this isn't a Disney movie where you'll live happily ever after. With a 50% failure rate in marriages, asking someone over 40 to move to another state with you, leaving behind their children, family, friends, a stable job or business, their home, and the comforts of a life where they're not doing badly, just to embark on an adventure with you as if you were teenagers. Well, forgive me, but any sensible
Mhm.
man would refuse. It's easy to say he doesn't love you when you're essentially asking him to jump out of a plane without a parachute.
Right.
If you decide to end things, get bored, or change your mind for any reason you consider valid, are you going to give him his life back where he left it? No, you'll just tell him to pack his bags and wish him good luck. It's situations like this that make it so difficult for women hitting the wall to find a partner. At that age, one bad move could leave you out on the street. Men aren't out here sacrificing everything for a woman.
Right.
We've reached the end of the video.
Right. Shout out to the wall for this video. It was a bad deal. She's a leftover woman. I know that hurts, but it is what it is. If that woman wanted to find a man to marry, I guarantee you she could have found one. But instead, she out here getting chatted out by a high school crush. If that's how you want to live, so be it. Good on that man for not taking that bad deal. Good for him. All right, guys, we're going to end it there. Shout out to the wall for that video. Until next time, sleep well, eat well, be well. I'll see you guys on the next video. Peace.